Good morning to my dear students. Welcome back to Atma Green School, Jai Swami Narayan. Today I start with standard 7. That is book history, our past, and we will do a revision for your second periodic test of the Delhi Sultans, page number 30. Okay, you can see a huge table on page number 31 कि दिल्ली को बहुत टाइम से, एंशियंट टाइम से एक के बाद एक डायनेस्टी रूल करती जा रही है. दैट इज राजपूत डायनेस्टी. उसमें तोमरास थे, चौहान्स थे. देन उसके बाद टर्किश रूलर्स आए, कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक, शमसुद्दीन इल्तुतमिश, रजिया, घियासुद्दीन बलबन. देन खलजी डायनेस्टी आई, जलालुद्दीन खलजी, अलाउद्दीन खिलजी. तुगलक डायनेस्टी आई, घियासुद्दीन तुगलक, मोहम्मद तुगलक, फिरोज शाह तुगलक. ओके, देन सैयद डायनेस्टी आए, खिजर खान, एंड लोधी डायनेस्टी आए, बहलुल लोधी. सो दिल्ली पता नहीं कितने एंशियंट टाइम से उसे सुल्तान्स राज कर रहे हैं. ओके, and see on page number 32 you can see their work. Okay, you can see their work, that is inscriptions. Although inscriptions, coins and architecture provide a lot of information, especially valuable are histories, तारीख. Then twarik, मतलब तारीख यानी singular और twarik यानी plurals too, written in Persian, language of administration under the Delhi Sultans. You can see the authors of Twarik were learned men, secretaries, administrators, poets and courtiers who both recounted events and advised rulers on the governance, emphasizing the importance of just rule. Then keep the following editorial details in mind. The authors of Twarik lived in cities, mainly Delhi, and hardly ever in villages. They often wrote their histories for sultans in the hope of rich rewards. You know, ये जो पहले के सुल्तान्स थे उनके लिए जो वफादारी से काम करते थे ना, सुल्तान्स उनको माला माल कर देते थे, और इसलिए वो भी बहुत अच्छी तरह से वर्क करते थे कि ताकि उन्हें अवार्ड्स मिल सके, रिवॉर्ड्स. These authors advised rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinctions. In 1236, Sultan Iltutmish's daughter Razia became Sultan. The chronicler of the age, Minhaj-i-Siraj, recognized that she was more able and qualified than all her brothers. इसलिए उसे बनाया गया था सुल्तान, रजिया को, रजिया सुल्तान, है ना. आपने वो एक फिल्म भी देखी, नाम भी सुना, रजिया सुल्तान. शी वॉज, लेकिन उसके जो फॉलोअर्स थे या बाकी लोग थे ना, वो खुश नहीं थे, बिकॉज वो चाहते थे कि एक लेडी के हम बात माने, लेडी के आगे हम सर झुकाएं. सो बहुत टाइम तक वो चली नहीं, एंड शी वॉज रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम द थ्रोन इन 1240. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, देर आर मैनी, एक येलो बॉक्स, पिंक बॉक्स में बहुत कुछ लिखा भी हुआ है. सो आप you also learn that, आप उसे भी read करना for your MCQs. Then page number 34. In the early 13th century, the control of the Delhi Sultans rarely went beyond heavily fortified towns occupied by the garrisons. The Sultans अकेले ने उस time control the hinterland of the cities. और मतलब सुल्तान्स ने जब भी दिल्ली पे राज किया था तो उन्होंने बहुत ट्रेड एंड बिजनेस में बहुत ज़्यादा अपना ट्रिब्यूट दिया था, वर्क दिया था. तो इसकी वजह से सुल्तान्स काफ़ी टाइम तक दिल्ली को राज करते रहे. कंट्रोलिंग गैरिसन टाउन्स इन डिस्टेंट बंगाल एंड सिंध फ्रॉम दिल्ली वॉज एक्सट्रीमली डिफिकल्ट. रेबेलियन वॉर, इवन बैड वेदर कुड स्नैप फ्रेगाइल कम्युनिकेशन रूट्स. दिल्ली's अथॉरिटी को मंगोल इन्वेजन्स फ्रॉम अफगानिस्तान, मतलब उनका भी वो था कि वो दिल्ली के ऊपर राज करे, और वो किसी भी कीमत पे सुल्तान को वीक बनाना चाहते थे ताकि उनका राज हो वहाँ पे. ओके, और उसके बाद घियासुद्दीन का राज आया, देन अलाउद्दीन खिलजी, मोहम्मद तुगलक, एक के बाद एक डायनेस्टी सुल्तान्स की दिल्ली को राज करती है। एंड यू ऑल नो कि जो लास्ट सुल्तान थे दैट इज बहादुर शाह जफर के बाद मुगल डायनेस्टी एंड हो गई, मुगल डायनेस्टी वाज एंड। ओके, देन the first set of campaigns along the internal frontier of the Sultan aimed at consolidating the hinterlands of the town. Garrison town यानी कि उस टाउन के अंदर ना एक अलग से उन्होंने आर्मी के लिए भी बनाया हुआ था, रहने के लिए उनका उस टाइम वो ये बहुत था। ओके, लोग अपनी आर्मी को, अपनी जो प्रजा है मतलब बहुत उनके लिए करते थे, और आर्मी के लिए तो बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा रहना, अच्छा खाना, एवरीथिंग। These lands were given to peasants and agriculture was encouraged. New fortresses, garrison towns bane and towns were established to protect trade routes and to promote regional trade. जो second expansion occurred along the external frontier of the Sultanate. Military expeditions into southern India started during the reign of Alauddin Khilji and culminated with, और मतलब कि मोहम्मद तुगलक तक वही आर्मी रही। फिर उनके जो कैंपेन्स होते थे, सल्तनत आर्मीज कैप्चर्ड एलिफेंट्स थे, हॉर्सेस, स्लेव्स एंड कैरिड अवे प्रेशियस मेटल्स अपने साथ लेके जाते थे। मोहम्मद तुगलक का जो राज है वो 150 ईयर्स तक रहा, 150 years after somewhat humble beginnings. That is, जो आर्मी थी वो दिल्ली से बाहर सब कॉन्टिनेंट में भी जाने लगी थी। Okay, the Sultanate collected taxes from the peasantry and dispensed justice in its realm. So you can see a map, Alauddin Khilji's campaign into South India. नीचे देखो, साउथ इंडिया पे पूरा उनका कैंपेन था। तंजावुर, द्वारा समुद्रा, मदुराई, okay. Then on page number 36 you can see a mosque is called a masjid in Arabic. Masjid in Arabic, literally a place where a Muslim prostrates in reverence to Allah. Okay, all this काफ़ी कुछ है इसमें एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ने के लिए। मतलब ये जो पिक्चर दिखाई है, कि इससे हमें ज़्यादा पता चलता है कितनी, मतलब हिस्टोरियंस ने कितनी मेहनत करके ये पिक्चर्स को टुगेदर किया है और हमें बताया है, देखो, थ्रू दिस बुक। अदरवाइज हमें नहीं पता चलना था कि कैसे क्या चीज़ है। सो यू कैन सी सो मैनी फोर्ट्स, मॉस्क ऑफ जमाली कमाली, मौत की मस्जिद, बिल्ड इन द रीन ऑफ सिकंदर लोदी बाय हिज मिनिस्टर्स। Then the consolidation of the kingdom as a vast and the Delhi Sultanate needed reliable governors and administrators rather than appointing aristocrats and landed chieftains as governors. The early Delhi Sultans, especially Iltutmish, favored their special slaves purchased for military service called Bandagan in Persian. Then on page number 38 you can see the Khaljis and the Tughlaqs continued to use Bandagan and also raise people of humble birth who were often their clients to high political positions. They were appointed, यानी इन्हीं का राज था दिल्ली में, वो अपने ही जनरल्स, गवर्नर्स को अपॉइंट करते थे। Slaves and clients were loyal to their masters and patrons, but not to their hires. New sultans had their own servants. As a result, the accession of a new monarch often saw conflict between the old and the new nobility. The patronage of these humble people by the Delhi sultans also shocked many elites, and the authors of Persian Tawariq criticized the Delhi sultans for appointing the low and base born to high offices. मतलब क्रिटिसाइज करते थे कि अनपढ़ गवार और बड़ी बड़ी पोस्ट पे बैठे हुए हैं, ऐसे मतलब क्रिटिसाइज करते थे दिल्ली सुल्तान्स को. जैसे बाकी के सुल्तान से वैसे खलजी तुगलक अपॉइंटेड मिलिट्री कमांडर्स एज गवर्नर्स ऑफ टेरिटरीज, और उन्होंने अपनी जो टेरिटरी है वो बहुत बढ़ा दी थी दिल्ली में. These lands were called Iqta and their holder were called Iqtadar or Mukti. The duty of the Muktis was to lead military campaigns and maintain law and order in their Iqtas. In exchange for their military services, the Muktiks collected the revenue of their assignments as salary. They also paid their soldiers from these revenues. Control over Muktis was most effective if their office was not inheritable and if they were assigned Iqtas for a short period of time before they shifted. बहुत सारे कंडीशंस थे रिगरसली इम्पोज जब ये अलाउद्दीन खिलजी और मोहम्मद तुगलक का राज था. बहुत ही मतलब कि क्या बोलते हैं सॉलिड थे इनके. Accountants were appointed by the state to check the amount of revenue collected by the Muktis. Care was taken that the Mukti collected only the taxes prescribed by the state and that he kept the required number of soldiers. Okay, then we go to page number 40. You can see the Mongols under Genghis Khan invaded Transoxiana in northeast Iran in 1219 and the Delhi Sultanate faced an onslaught soon after. Genghis Khan बहुत ही क्रूर आदमी था. ओके, उसके आने के बाद दिल्ली जो सुल्तान्स थे मतलब बहुत खौफ में रहते थे. Mongolians थे ना वो. The Mongols attack on the Delhi Sultan increasing during the reign of Alauddin Khalji. This forced the two rulers to mobilize a large standing army in Delhi, which posed a high administrative challenge. You can see on page number 41, Alauddin Khalji ने क्या जीता, ओके, कौन से ईयर में क्या कंस्ट्रक्ट किया, कैसे उसके उनके टाइम पे कैसे वो अपनी मिलिट्री को फेड करते थे या क्या प्रोड्यूस करते थे. ओके, कैसे वो फार्मर पेजेंट्स का रिलेशन था, फार्मर्स और उनका जो रिलेशंस था, सोल्जर्स को कितना पे करते थे और कहाँ से सब सामान आता था. देन ये था अलाउद्दीन खिलजी के रूल के टाइम पे. देन मोहम्मद तुगलक के रूल के टाइम पे क्या क्या हुआ था. Then page number 42, the Sultanate in the 15th and 16th centuries. You can see table 1. Table 1 you can see the sultans जो जिन्होंने रूल किया था in the 15th and the 16th centuries on page number 31. ये सब दिल्ली पे राज करके गए हैं. That after the Tughlaqs, the Sayyid, the Lodi dynasties ruled from Delhi and Agra until 1526. By then, Jaunpur, Bengal, Malwa, Gujarat, Rajasthan and the entire South India had independent rulers who established flourishing states and prosperous capitals. This was also the period which saw the emergence of new ruling groups like the Afghans and the Rajputs. Some of the states established in this period were small, but powerful and extremely well administered. Sher Shah Sur started his career as the manager of a small territory for his uncle in Bihar and eventually challenged and defeated the Mughal emperor. Humayun का राज. Sher Shah captured Delhi and established his own dynasty. Although the Sur dynasty ruled only for 15 years. इतने डायनेस्टीज एशियन टाइम से आई है कि हम उनको याद भी नहीं कर सकेंगे, इतनी काउंटिंग है उसकी। सो सिर्फ जो मेन है जिन्होंने बहुत टाइम तक राज किया है उन्हीं के बारे में हमें यहाँ बताया गया है, वरना छोटी मोटी डायनेस्टी तो आई और गई, जैसे सुर डायनेस्टी है। It introduced an administration that borrowed elements from Alauddin Khilji and made them more efficient. Sher Shah's administration became the model followed by the great Emperor Akbar जब उन्होंने मुगल एम्पायर बने, जब मुगल एम्पायर बने। ओके Then on page number 43 you can see the three orders, the peace of God, knights and the crusades. What were these? The idea of the three orders was first formulated in France in the early 11th century. It divided society into three classes: those who prayed, those who fought, and those who tilled the land. This division of society उसे कहते थे three orders, that is those who pray, those who fought and those who till the land. उस time पे three orders थे, was supported by the church to consolidate its dominant role in society. This helped the emergence of a new warrior group called knights. The church patronized this group and used them to propagate the idea of peace of God. The attempt was to direct warriors away from conflict amongst themselves and send them instead on a campaign against the Muslims who had captured the city of Jerusalem. This led to a series of campaigns called the Crusades. These campaigns in the service of God, ये मतलब पे करते थे, one has to pay the service, give the service to God and church. Completely altered, उन्हें knights का status दिया जाता था। और peace of God यानी ये जो three orders थे, जो इनको मानता था, वो मतलब used to propagate this idea, ओके और इसे पीस ऑफ गॉड कहा जाता था। और ज़्यादातर ये जो नाइट्स है ना, दे डिड नॉट बिलोंग टू द क्लास ऑफ नोबल्स, बट बाय द एंड ऑफ द 11th century in France and a century later in Germany, the humble origins of these warriors were forgotten. By the 12th century, nobles also wanted to be known as knights. See on page number 40 you can see chieftains and their fortifications. Justice Ibn Battuta, a 14th century traveller from Morocco, Africa, explained that chieftains sometimes fortified themselves in mountains, in rocky, uneven and rugged places, as well as bamboo groves. In India, the bamboo is not hollow, it is big. Its several parts are so intertwined, इतनी ज़्यादा intermingled है, that even fire cannot affect them, and they are on the whole very strong. The chieftains live in this forest, which serve them as ramparts, inside which are their cattle and their crops. There is also water for them within, that is rainwater which collects there. Hence they cannot be subdued except by the powerful armies who, entering these forests, cut down the bamboos with specially prepared instruments. Just go through this page number 41, students. That is Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad Tughlaq. Okay, just go through this क्योंकि इसमें से भी MCQs आ सकते हैं आपको. So just read this. ये जितने भी यहाँ पे है ना येलो एंड ग्रीन बॉक्सेस, please go through all that. Okay, and you have to read the lessons. चलो ये let's read this page number 41. Alauddin Khilji, Delhi was attacked twice. और वो ईयर लिखे वहाँ पे. As a defensive measures, Alauddin Khilji raised a large standing army. बहुत बहादुर थे ये. Alauddin constructed a new garrison town named Siri for his soldiers. मैप 1 में देख सकते हैं आप. मैप 1 में Siri. Siri, you can see map 1. Yes, Siri. Page number 30. Siri. वो गैरिसन यानी पूरा मिलिट्री का टाउन था छोटा सा. The soldiers had to be fed. This was done through the produce collected as tax from lands between the Ganga and Yamuna. Tax was fixed at 50% of the peasants' yield. The soldiers had to be paid. Alauddin chose to pay his soldiers' salaries in cash rather than iktas. The soldiers would buy the supplies from merchants in Delhi and it was thus feared that merchants would raise their prices. इसलिए इसको स्टॉप करने के लिए Alauddin controlled the prices of goods in Delhi. Prices were carefully surveyed. Who did not sell as the prescribed rates were punished. Alauddin's administrative measures were quite successful and chroniclers praised his reign for its cheap prices and efficient supplies of goods in the market. He successfully withstood the threat of Mongol invasions. Then Muhammad Tughlaq. The Sultanate was attacked in the early years of Muhammad Tughlaq's reign. The Mongol army was defeated. Muhammad Tughlaq was confident about the strength of his army and his resources to plan an attack on Transoxiana. He therefore raised a large standing army. Rather than constructing a new garrison town, the oldest of the 4 cities of Delhi, that is Delhi-e-Khuna, was emptied of its residents and the soldiers garrisoned there. The residents of the old city were sent to the new capital of Daulatabad in south. बहुत अच्छे rulers थे ये. Produce from the same area was collected as a tax to feed the army. मतलब ये जितने भी जो रूलर्स थे ना, डायनेस्टी थे, ये अपनी आर्मी के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा पेक्यूलियर थे. बट टू मीट द एक्सपेंस ऑफ मेंटेनिंग सच अ लार्ज नंबर ऑफ सोल्जर्स, द सुल्तान लेविड एडिशनल टैक्सेस. और ये एक फेमाइन में बदल गया था. मोहम्मद तुगलक ऑल्सो पेड हिज सोल्जर्स कैश सैलरीज, बट इंस्टेड ऑफ कंट्रोलिंग प्राइजेस he used a token currency, somewhat like present day paper currency, but made out of cheap metals, not gold and silver. People in the 14th century did not trust these coins. They were very smart. They saved their gold and silver coins and paid all their taxes to the state with this token currency. This cheap currency could also be counterfeited easily. Then Alauddin's administrative measures, it was quite successful and it was praised by his reign for its cheap prices and efficient supplies of goods in the market. और उन्होंने मंगोल को भी हरा दिया था. Then Muhammad Tughlaq's administrative measures were a failure. His campaign into Kashmir was a disaster. He then gave up his plans to invade Transoxiana and disbanded his large army. Meanwhile, his administrative measures created complications. The shifting of people to Daulatabad was resented. The raising of taxes and famine in the Ganga-Yamuna belt led to widespread rebellion, and finally the token currency had to be recalled. Okay students, just go through the lesson, and again there will be a next revision class. Okay, and all the best for your second periodic test. Please do well, fare well, do read the lesson again and again, and please जिन्होंने subject enrichment activity अभी तक नहीं दी है, please आप भेज दो. Okay, otherwise you will lose your marks. So with this again, all the best to all my dear students for your second periodic test. Thank you to all. Take care. Bye.